Audacity, and I am so excited to be talking today with Miss Tiara Abu from She Can Work, located in Houston, Texas. Tell us all about it. Hey, Tiara, we are super excited to have you here today. Y'all, she is out here empowering Black women to get their money up and right. Uh, so excited. I admire her. And we will hopefully be able to meet her very, very soon because she is going to be here in Atlanta for her Money Girl Meetup. It's one of her signature events, and she's here to tell us all about it. All right, I'm going to stop talking and give the floor to Miss Tiara. How you doing?
I'm good. So thank you for having me, Jessica. Like she said, I'm Tiara Abu, the CEO and founder of She Can Work. We are a business development company. So I'm really on a mission to increase the number of successful Black women-owned businesses. 81% of Black-owned businesses fail within the first 18 months of founding. And I'm not okay with that. I think there's a lot of great ideas. I think there are some phenomenal business models that we've created. I think we provide some really amazing services and products in our community, and there are so many barriers that we face, but also a lot we can do to have really strong businesses. So we're a business development company. We offer events, workshops, and then we have a program, the 5-day long program where we take you through it to really establish the structures in your business and the infrastructure of your business. So you are grant ready, loan ready, VC ready, or venture capital ready, whatever it is that you're trying to do to go to that next step in your business, you're ready to do that after you spend some time with us. So that's what we do. Money Girl Meetups is one of our events. Super excited to come to Atlanta. I've never come to Atlanta, y'all, for pleasure. I've only come for work. And so I'm like, we gonna spend some time having fun in Atlanta. So I can't wait. I can't wait to come.
Yay! Yeah, definitely spend some time having a good time here. Like, it's a fun city,
Mhm.
obviously. Like, I live here, so of course I feel that way. But no, it really is a good time. So yeah, definitely give yourself like a little bit of room for leisure and eat you some good food, girl. Like, I know Houston be doing it for the food and everything, but you know, Atlanta got a different kind of seasoning going on. So
Mm. Okay, okay,
get yourself involved.
okay.
Yes, get yourself involved.
I hear you. I receive that.
Yes.
I will.
Folks are gonna hate me for this, but you gotta get fried pickles. I don't get fried pickles nowhere else outside of Georgia. You gotta get fried pickles.
Really?
Like the Georgia situation, yeah. You gotta make sure they're pickled chips, that they're battered in buttermilk, and they're deep fried and yummy. But it gotta be pickled chips.
Okay.
Spears can't be slices. Gotta be chips.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to tell me where to go get them from because I love fried pickles, spears, chips, all of it. But tell me
Yes,
where to get some really good ones so I'm not disappointed.
I got you. I got you. We'll talk about it off camera.
Okay. Yeah. We don't about to give out no free advertising dollars, but yes.
Absolutely not.
Tell me
But you know,
where to go.
but fried pickles are green, and so is money. So you know, it
Mhm.
relates. It comes together. So what you told us about like what inspired you to start She Can Work is super super fun and super well not it's not fun that there's a problem that you have to solve, but it's great for you because there's a problem for you to solve, right?
Mhm.
So what is it that separates She Can Work from all the other, because what it sounds like what you're running is basically like a business incubator, which is excellent and necessary and needed. But what separates you from the other business development programs and incubator programs out there?
Yeah, I think there's a ton of incubators, accelerators, business, they have like all kinds of business development programs that exist. You can go to colleges and universities. So this is a really good question. Not that you don't ask good questions, but people ask it of me often. What separates us is really our approach and the way we surround you with partnership. So for me, like fundamentally, I just at the end of the day don't think we have time to waste. And I see a lot of times where people are going through accelerators and some of these business programs that are very well intentioned and highly resourced, but they're not getting to the end of it and feeling like, okay, my business is actually stronger or I'm more profitable because of it.
Hmm.
And when I'm talking to people, oftentimes what happens is a couple of things. One, they're going into these programs, and you're going into it after your day job or after you worked in your business for the full day. You get into this like 3 hours in the evening once a week, and you're like learning a whole bunch of stuff that you didn't have to go apply, but you don't have time to apply it. So I spent 3 hours after work learning about how to write a business plan, but now I'm expected to go
Yeah.
find some time to actually sit down and do it.
Mm.
The second thing that we kept seeing is, so that like people are tired, right? They're like, I'm exhausted trying to get all of this done and then, or learn all of this and then go home and implement it. The second thing is that it's taking too long. So some of the programs are like 15 weeks, 14 weeks. And at the end of it, you're like, okay, I spent 15 weeks and I have all of this stuff and like maybe a better network and some connections, but I don't have enough to tangibly say I can do more in my business. So for us, what we're going after is, hey, it's a week long. You need a week. We're putting you in a room with all of the resources you need, and we're really focusing on the structures in your business. So when I say structure, I mean you need to have financial statements. You need to have your cash flow sheet. You need to have your balance, your cash flow statement. You need to have your balance sheet. You need to have a financial analysis of the business and projections in a plan for funding before you be like, I just need grants. We do that. You need a business plan. You need a pitch deck. You need it. You need to have your elevator pitch. You need a marketing strategy. You need lead generation. You need a brand kit and a media kit. Like you need all of that stuff, but it doesn't require you to be in a 14-week long program to do that. So for us, each of our days is really targeted at what you are tangibly going to walk away with. We fill up the room. It's a full day program. We fill up the room with the people who can help you and mentor you all day, answer your questions on the fly, on the spot, right now. You get it done. So you walk out of our days already with what you need in hand, business plan in hand, marketing strategy in hand, your media kit in hand. And at the end of the week, Jessica, I think what's important for me is a lot of Black women, especially because that's who I work with, say, well, I couldn't get a loan because I have bad credit, or I couldn't get the grant because I wasn't in business long enough. And then I say, what I really want you to start to say is, I couldn't make a case for why I was lendable. I couldn't make a case for why that grant actually was right for me. And the reason you couldn't make a case is because you didn't have your financial statement.
Mm.
You didn't have your finances in order. You didn't have a business plan. And so I love you, and racism exists in the world, but this wasn't a situation that happened to you because you were Black. This is a situation that happened to you because you didn't have your business together.
Really?
So I want you to get to the end of the week and have your business in order so that when you get called for the grant, you applied and you filled that long application and they call you and say, send me your financial statements. You're like, yup, I
Yeah.
already went through She Can Work's core program, got it. And they interview you and you're not like, my business kind of does some cool things. But instead you can say, my business is this, I do this, we help this person, here's the problem we solve, here's why you should give me this money, and here's what I'm going to do with it. So that's the long answer to, we help you get ready to, like, we get the structures in place so that you can take whatever that next step is. And oftentimes that's the part we don't do, Jessica. We like get out there and we're like, I'm trying to make some money, and I'm like, you can make some money today, but you're not going to make any money tomorrow. And if emergency happens, you won't be able to have access to any money because your business is not in order.
Right. And it's so exciting to hear something like this because what it does, even though like it can come across to the average person as like being harsh on our own folks and everything, it's more so giving the
Mhm.
power back to our people. Like
Yes.
giving people accountability, you give the
Mhm.
power back to them. So
Mhm.
it's listen, we all need that tough love sometimes. I got a couple of friends in business and she will know who she is when I say this, and I'm not gonna, of course, out anybody by name and everything, but like I've definitely had a couple of friends from time to time where, they've come to me and asked me for advice on like things they could better streamline or better structure within their business. And mind you, I'm not
Mhm.
I know that there are things with my systems that I need to improve and get better in order. So like I always put them in a
All of us.
whenever there's something going wrong with my business, the first person I look at is me. And so when
Mhm.
my friends who own businesses feel that way, I challenge them to do the same. And, sometimes my delivery is also very much like yours, where I'm like, well, where's your system? Where's your this? Where's your this?
Mhm.
And sometimes, I might hurt my friends' feelings and everything. They're like, oh, I feel judged. I'm just like, I promise I'm not judging you. I'm telling you this because I want to give the power back to you. Like, you don't have
Hmm.
to feel like you're just out here screaming into the void and that no one cares about your business, which we all as business owners feel that way sometimes. Like we're just kind of out here being like, hello, hello, give me
Right.
money. But like you said, you have to build a case. You have to show why you need the money, and you have to have the systems in order so that people know, okay, if I give this person this money, they're going to be a good steward of it. And
Yes.
I mean, we can listen, we're black, so like everything that we do starts off rooted in faith, usually in early childhood. Everything's about like,
Hmm.
rooted in faith, and that's the first thing that they teach us when it's time for us to go to church is being a good steward. Because I caught myself
Hmm.
using church language just now. I'm not even religious, but like I'm not even religious, but caught myself using church language. Being a good steward of the blessings that you are
Hmm.
given and the means that you're given, so that you can give it back and put it into whatever it is that you're building. And like in church language, it's building the kingdom of God and everything. In business language, it's
Hmm.
building your brand and building your business out so that that money goes.
Right.
So it's absolutely amazing. That was a very long-winded way of me complimenting you to say that you're actually inspiring people by giving them some tough love, because I feel like a lot of times we need that. Like as black women, we're so focused on creating safe emotional spaces for each other, and that's incredibly important. We need that love and support, and we need a level of
Hmm.
softness that we don't get from the rest of the world. But I also think that, unpopular opinion probably, that doesn't mean that we don't hold each other accountable and give each other the harsh critiques when we need it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's like racism exists,
Period.
bias exists. Like we just did an event today, and I explained to them like the mistrust that we have as Black people and women in general, the mistrust that we have of the government, of financial institutions, of all these systems is real. It is root. Like we were forced to come here on shit. Like we were beat and we were owned as property. So,
Mhm.
and when those institutions started, literally there were signs that said we could not come in. So I'm not saying that the racism and bias doesn't exist. I'm saying that what I said at this event today, when you go into a bank and you were denied a loan, and you say, why was I denied? And then they say, because why were you denied for the business loan? Because you don't have accurate records of your financials. Okay, that's valid. That's not racism.
Yeah,
White
it
people have to have
absolutely
that.
is. Yeah.
Check. Or they say, because you don't have a strong history of fiscal responsibility. You don't have a credit history that aligns to our requirements. Those things are not racial, guys. But there might be a time where someone says your credit history doesn't align, and then you can say, but no, here it does. It does. And here's my documentation. Or they say your bank records don't align. Okay, no, here are my bank records. And then if they still say no to you, we might have a racial issue. But if
Right.
you literally go in and someone says your financial statements are not in order, you must have them in order for me to lend you this money. That's not racial, y'all. Are there barriers that exist that have us in a situation where we don't have strong financials?
Yes.
Yes. Are there systems and people who literally want to keep us out? Yes. But when you get your documentation in order, when you get your books in order, when you have a business plan, when you can like make a case for yourself, it is easier to discern
Hmm.
whether or not what is happening to you is because you need to strengthen your business, or if what is happening to you is actually racially or sexually or whatever
Motivated.
biased. And so it's important though for us to get our stuff together so
Yeah.
that then we can walk in so confident that when we get the no, it's like, tell me the thing to fix so I can be clear.
Right.
And if we need to fix that little thing, great. But if you're just telling me no, I'm gonna move on, or I'm gonna file a suit against you. I don't know, but either way,
Options.
it sits in our the ball is in our court.
Right.
But right now, what I see us doing is walking into places, not having our ducks in a row, and then being like, "Well, they didn't give it to me," and I'm like, "Y'all, we gotta come better than that." And I love you. I'm gonna love you the whole time. And I'm not going to judge you because I've been there, because I know people who've been there
Right.
and all of that. But you got to get it in order if you want to advance, because that's what we're talking about now. We're talking about moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah, 1,000%. And like, it's so important that you say it because organization is so important. I feel like that's one of like our stereotypes is that like we're disorganized. And in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion, it's not necessarily that we as people are disorganized. I think that there's a level of lack of know-how. And if we're going to say that somebody's disorganized, we have to teach them how to be organized. So
Precisely.
we can't just keep talking about like, oh, well, like you doing this wrong, this wrong, this wrong, this wrong, and not giving people solutions to how to fix it. So like that's one of the things I really love about She Can Work, and I look very much so forward to being able to attend one of the events very soon because I
Mm-hmm.
like learning how to organize things. I'm excited. I like spreadsheets. I like. Oh, that's a
Mm-hmm.
good question. Actually, this is what I want to ask you. When it comes to organizing
Mm-hmm.
like your books, your financials, your this, your this, your this, are you a fan
Mm-hmm.
of digital or printed?
You know what? Like, I'm saying that with my statements printed out right over here next to me. So I toggle between both, right? I am a person who is like, I'm a digital person. I don't like a lot of clutter and a lot of paper, but I need to manipulate things to learn and to study.
Mm,
And my finances are study material for me. So right now I'm about to go through and kind of do an audit of all of our financials from last year. And our financial statement. Well, I printed out all my statements and I'm like, got my highlighters ready. I bought me some, they're sitting right here. I bought me some new paper clips and
oh, I love
ribbon
it. Are they like little rainbows too? Are those rainbow paper clips? Oh my gosh, I have to show you my lazy Susan now. Hold on.
bands.
So I have a lazy Susan
Girl.
that my friends got me for Christmas. Oh gosh. And you guys can see Marilyn Monroe in the background, but this is my lazy Susan. She turns, she got my little color
Love it.
coordinated sticky notes and highlighter markers and my little pens and pencils. I have my
Mm-hmm.
hand sanitizer. I got honey for my tea. I have my Beyonce candle for inspiration. Like
That part.
this is very serious, and of course Marilyn is there to inspire me along the way as well. Like we just have
Mhm.
the ghost of
I
Marilyn.
love that. Yeah, girl, you gotta have your supplies. I have all of my color coded stuff. So Friday is my financial day. I'm sitting down with all of our finances, doing all this. So like I'm gathering my things. So I go between both. I needed digital because there's a lot of software and like a lot of ways you can manipulate numbers digitally when you have a digital program or even a spreadsheet. But there's something for me in really knowing my stuff that requires me to print it out. I need to see it. I need to hold it, touch it, highlight it, staple it, put a color code on it, put
Yeah.
my cute purple tip on it. So I go between both.
So you're a numbers girl, is what it sounds like. You're definitely a numbers lady. Um. Oh, you're not.
I'm not.
Oh shoot.
No, I wouldn't identify that way.
You could have fooled me.
I
Like,
wouldn't. I wouldn't identify that way. I think that Jessica, what I have learned is, so I grew up when we just talked about money, and money was very nebulous, right? It was like we have money, but how much money we have? We got bills, but how much we owe? Like it was just we
yeah.
were talking about money. And it wasn't until I got into college. One year I had 13 W-2s, girl, because I was just getting jobs and I did not keep jobs that didn't work around my schedule in college. So I had like 13 W-2s one year. And when I was like going through and I did my own taxes in college, I was going through it and I had realized with all of those jobs, I don't remember the exact number, but I had made like thousands of dollars that year. But I was broke. And as a college student, you're like, you made thousands of dollars. Where is that? Like, I didn't have new Jordans. I didn't have new clothes. I wasn't like going out all the time. So like, where did my money go?
Hmm.
Um, what? And so I just started like over time getting more wanting my money to be more tangible to me. I wanted to be like really clear about it. And then I got my first financial advisor right out of college. And when I started paying attention to when we had to like see the numbers for how much money we spent eating out, how much money I spent on bills, how much money I had coming in, and really seeing the numbers,
Hmm.
it was so eye opening to me.
Mm.
So I'm not a numbers girl. I just really care a lot about fiscal responsibility. And I know in order to know anything about your money, you have to be studying your money. So no, I ain't no numbers girl.
You just
And
responsible.
And my husband, he does like our like personal finances. He's like
Yeah.
our numbers, like looking at the account every day.
Yeah.
So because I know he's doing that, he wouldn't copy no numbers, girl. He'll be like, she's a spender. Like that's what she is. Um, but as it pertains to my company that he is not managing, like we are very much like
Yeah.
making decisions together, but he manages the finances on the personal side. But on the business side, I gotta look at the numbers. And if y'all not looking at y'all's business numbers, shame. If you're not looking at your personal
Right.
numbers, shame, y'all.
Right.
Go start doing that.
We don't have a
I
budget
like
here at Audacity. Like I manage all of our money. Every dollar that comes in, I see it with my eyeballs. I don't know what else I would see it with, but you know, I see it, I look
mhm.
at it, and I'm like, okay, here's what we're doing here. But I guess like my question would be like, since you are also not a numbers girl, I've always been a language and history girl. Like I can debate all day, I can do citations and stuff all day. I can
I
write
can write.
all day, yeah. But you give me
Mhm.
a number or a calculator, I'm just like, you ask me to explain like chemical reactions or like I don't know, like I can talk to you about crystals, but I can't talk to you about geology. Like I can't. I can't do it. But I mean, clearly you've been able to build this thriving business with you looking at your numbers and running your math and everything like that. So like what advice do you have to the fellow not numbers people out there as far as like how to best manage their business's finances and their bookkeeping? Like, are you
Get some help.
okay? That's it.
I would say, A, get some help. So there's a ton, like, if you can't afford it, right, there's a ton of free resources. If you looked up, if you went to SBA.gov right now, it's the Small Business Administration. They have counselors. Almost every major city for sure has a small business administration office directly in it. But if you just go to their website, they can help you find the nearest one. They have counselors that you can literally go in there and say, I don't know how to create a financial statement. And they sit with you and actually do it. They have software for bookkeeping. It's free. They have free classes on how to use QuickBooks. There's so many free resources for your local SBA office. But go to SBA.gov. You already pay if you pay taxes, you already paid their salaries. That is a huge resource. I would also say some of the local universities, like I don't know of any in Atlanta right off the top of my head. I will know by the Money Girl meetup in a couple of weeks. But um, you can also like look up the entrepreneurship centers at universities that are local to you. They often offer free services. So if you can't afford it, I would say start with SBA.gov or start with a local business center or entrepreneurship center at a local university. They all mostly have them. They get money from the government for them. And then if you are ready to invest, you gotta build your team around you. So depending on your like business structure, I think there's all kinds of people, but you should start off with the financial advisor. And I tell people that like if you don't have a financial advisor in your life, you're missing out. It's not that expensive. My first financial advisor was $300. Today, I don't pay $300 for a financial advisor, but when I first started out, that's all I paid, based on what I had them managing for me. So um there's like free stuff. Other thing I would say in terms of finances, if you are like stuck, is your business bank. So wherever you have your business bank account, and if you don't have a business bank account, please get one. But wherever you are banking, they also probably have like free classes, a business mentor. They have people at your bank that will sit down with you and help you. So that's where I would say start. Definitely with the SBA because you already are paying for it as a taxpayer.
that,
Call there.
that
It's
part.
completely free. It's completely free, y'all. You just have to tap into it and ask.
I'm writing all this down. I'm writing all this down. Uh,
And I'll actually send you, Jessica, after this, I'll send you an email because we just did an event with the SBA today,
oh, dang.
where she talked about resources. I'll send you a lot of the links that she sent today. I'm gonna send them to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. And you know what?
Welcome.
We have so much to talk about. I'm like, this feels like an article that we can write together for the magazine too. This is a great idea.
We need to.
All
For
right.
real, I'm serious. I'm serious. We have a series right now called "Put You in the Room" that we're doing in Houston with Girl Boss Suite. And it is really us connecting you to free resources in your city. One of the other free resources I'll just quickly say is
Yeah.
it's a media resource. We just learned that Houston TV exists. It is a complete podcast studio, complete green room, complete TV, television studio with the production team that you quite literally could rent out and use. And it's so low cost. I'm talking about like less than $500 low cost for you to go and have somebody actually produce this. They help you get sponsors when you have a business, but people don't know about these kinds of things.
Yeah.
Um,
Free money out
and
there.
so yeah, and you all have this in Atlanta. I don't know what it's called, but I know you probably have a government run TV. Wherever the TV production studio that is that like shows your council meetings or your mayor's public
Okay.
appearances, that studio is like available to you. And you don't know it. So
I did not know it.
it's
I
a
did
bunch
not
of
know it.
stuff. It's a Girl, you're a media company, so let me find it for you. I'm gonna figure it
Right.
out for you.
This is what I love about
Um,
these interviews is that like I learn stuff. Even when I'm interviewing people, like I learn more stuff too. Like y'all, let me tell you,
yes.
I love a good Audacity interview. But look, Tia, before we go, I want to talk about this Money
Mm-hmm.
Girl meetup. What's up with it?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? When's the next one? What can we expect?
Yes. So Money Girl Meetup, it is our networking event that we do. We're going city to city where Black women in business literally come together to talk about how do we do business together? How can we support each other? How do we like show up for each other? And how do we connect to resources? So it's like, what you need, girl? Let me just connect you with that person or that thing. Let me send you the list. Money Girl Meetup started off in Houston. I'll be really quick. We had four of them in Houston last fall. Um, Women were growing businesses just from Money Girl Meetup. Women were like standing up at a Money Girl Meetup and saying, "This is my company," and then having so many clients that they had to like not be coming to Money Girl Meetups because they didn't have no time.
Yes.
You know, people have gotten jobs from Money Girl Meetup, so it's really about connecting and then moving to action together. So there's networking, there's business opportunities, there's partnership opportunities. So many people have linked up from them. And we're deliberate about facilitating the conversation so that happens. So you guys go to a lot of networking events and you're talking to women or whatever, and it's wonderful. Y'all take some pictures. This one, we're facilitating a conversation so the connections directly happen. So we get down to business. We'll be in Atlanta April 22nd. Um, if you go to shecanwork.org and look at our events page, or go to @shecanwork on we're @shecanwork on Instagram. Just hit up our link in our bio. That's where you can go sign up. It's free. It's completely free. People are like, "Oh, I don't go to free events because they don't be about nothing." Well, if you don't come to this one, then you ain't gonna make no money because that's the whole point of this. We're advancing your business. We left Dallas this past weekend. I'm still getting text messages about how phenomenal it was. Go look at our tags on Instagram. I think you'll get a really good sense for what's happening at Money Girl Meetup. But if you, this is what I'll say last thing, because I know we got time, we ain't got that much time. If you if you are wanting to grow a business that is profitable and impactful in this world, you have to connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. And as Black women, if we are going to be successful, we need each other.
Yep.
Period. We need each other. And so that's what Money Girl Meetups is for more than anything else. It's like you have to start to build your network of people who will say your names in rooms where you are not and be unapologetic about it. And you need to be able to call somebody when you are going through it and you can't call anybody else. You need to call somebody who understands. And that's what we're doing Money Girl Meetups for, so that we can create a community and a network where you can get business done, but you can do it in a way that feels safe to you. You can do it with people who understand you and people who are literally want to see you win. Like, we want to see you win, period. So April 22nd, go to She Can Work.
Thank you so much, Tiara, for joining us today. Guys, make sure you follow She Can Work and sign up for Money Girl Meetup in Atlanta or in a city near you. We will put all the information here in the caption, and we'll see you next time.